very special guest for you this evening. And you know what? I was going to go through his bio and do this extraordinary intro. Let me just say this to you about this brother. He's a very talented hip-hop and R&B artist who is also an actor. And I'm just going to shoot off some names. This brother's performed with Neo, Jagged Edge, Keisha Cole, Akon, Tank, Ludacris, Sierra, just to name a few. When we get into this interview, he's going to talk about the rest of his life. He's going to talk about his successes and challenges in the business. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to James Blake Carrington. Mr. Carrington, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here on The Movement. We are truly privileged to have you here, brother. And before we get started, you know what? I want to do this. I mentioned to you off camera that one of the things that we try to do here in The Movement is to provide information and access to emerging artists from all genres of music. So I want to actually get you on film, brother, to say that when, I'm going to say it, when you sign that contract and make it in this business, that you will come back to the movement and let our guests know.
Absolutely.
Switch to camera one. Switch to camera one.
James Blake Carrington. I will be back to the movement when they arrive.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Y'all heard it, right? We have witnesses.
Switch to camera two. Three.
So listen, tell us, when did you first realize that you had talent as an artist?
Camera one.
Probably when I was, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 years old.
8 or 9 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you start? Was it church or?
Well, I dabbled in church, but it wasn't too concrete. It was more or less like talent shows, school talent shows. Okay. The exposure.
Okay. And so, do you remember that time when you said, this is what I want to do?
Probably when I was 13.
Wow. And what was that moment like?
It's really an undescribable feeling when you're singing in front of hundreds of people. As a teenager,
let me direct you.
Let me direct you from a hole in the wall, and just for them to embrace you and you know, kind of take you under their wing. It was just elating.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. And it pretty much, why it is this, Kevin, how many people know this about me? I was in the music business for 12 years. My desire to be involved in entertainment actually came from, I used to sing when I was younger. And so when I asked that question, I asked it based on some of the feelings that I went through growing up as a child. I realized that I had talent at a very young age. And for me, it was like my family. It was pleasing to my family. It felt good for my mother to say, hey, get up and sing. Sing that song you say, boy, man. You know, and the whole family would sit around on holidays. And did you experience any of that?
Well, it happened the opposite way. My grandmother was supportive of me in that way. My upbringing was not the best. You know.
You want to elaborate?
Well,
I mean, when you say
go to camera two.
Was it mom and dad in the house?
His stepfather, mother, that situation, and it was a very disturbing environment. So I would use music to soothe me, my soul, and keep my head level. But it was more or less my grandparents to, you know, say, you keep going no matter what. Shout out to Grandma.
Hey, Grandma. What's good, girl? Your grandson's on the movement. As a recording artist, I know this, because of experience, this is a very difficult business to break. This is one of the few businesses where you can actually be around it and not really in it. And it's very difficult when you're talented and you know that you see some of this stuff and you're like, I don't get it. How did they get a record deal? That's for another topic. What are some of the challenges?
Camera one.
It's just more or less not fitting into their mold, into the industry's mold. Once they allow people, different artists, to do what they do and accept them for who they are, then it'll be a better environment, you know, for artists. But until they stop handpicking and trying to mold artists into what they see, it's going to be what it is. You're going to have a bunch of polished, underground, really good artists that don't get the shine that a mediocre artist would.
Exactly. You're absolutely right about that. And I also know
Go to
this
camera two.
fact that this business has really turned from. I remember personally growing up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the extraordinary amount of talent we had at that time is just ridiculous. When I look at the music industry now, particularly in R&B and pop, I'm almost ashamed because I grew up on Marvin Gaye and Billy Joel and Stevie Wonder. I mean, it was common, and you never. I mean, and back then, you could not be an artist unless you were singers. See, if you couldn't write, if you couldn't sing without a mic, if you couldn't be an artist back then because the competition was fierce. So having said that, who do you see in the business that kind of gives you that?
Ready, camera one.
Is there anyone that you say, hey, that guy is he's a true artist?
Take camera one.
I can't really put my finger on it, to be honest.
How about well, I think he's
Go to camera two. That's good.
Jaheim, what do you feel about him as a vocalist?
I mean, Jaheim he's cool. He took the path of more or less like a tone-wise of a Teddy Pendergrass kind of thing. But I mean that lane was wide open for him. So I don't understand what his situation was, because there was a void for that particular sound, that Teddy Pendergrass, sound, and I don't know where the brother is.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm curious. Who are some of the artists that influenced you?
Camera one.
That's right.
Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway, your Howard Hewitts, Babyface, all of these real old school, genuine singers. I don't know whatever happened to that formula, but I never changed my formula.
That's right.
So, that's where we are with that.
That's right. Tell me about some of the
Camera two.
You opening for Neil, Jagged, Kiss Cole, Akon, Tank, Ludacris, Sierra. Did I miss anybody?
Kid Capri, I traveled with him on the road. He as well.
And where have you?
I performed in Los Angeles, Seattle, Washington, Arizona, Spain, London, France, Detroit, Florida, Miami, Ohio, a bunch of places in the States.
Real quick, we're going to take a break. Oh, absolutely great. We're going to take a break. Before we do, tell us a little bit about your album.
Camera three.
Yes, my album is called
Camera one.
Okay.
It's ironic that we're discussing this subject. That's primarily what I'm about and what I'm trying to bring to the forefront is R&B artists, male R&B artists, and not just artists, but just men in general. To be men, to be a man, stand up and do what you need to do, and be a provider for your family. Don't tear your woman down, bring her up. Take care of your kid. If you have a child, kids, take care of them. You don't want kids? Strap up. It's just a simple solution. It's real simple.
Wow, that's deep.
Camera three.
All right, we're going to have to take a break. When we get back, we're going to check out a performance from my man James Blake Carrington. He's doing 2 tracks, Happy and Nobody Else. Remember, I'm still old school. We're still on the movement. We're going nowhere. We'll be right back.
All right, that's good.
Okay.